Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Morning Heart Devotion. To start off, let's offer a greeting about our heavenly parents and true parents. 천지인 참부모님께 경배. 바로. And now to lead us through the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 처녀급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 처녀급 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Milhan Stevens. And now to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite up Keiko Foss. Keiko Foss.
Good morning, Dr. Yong, everybody. Please join me in prayer. 사랑하는 하늘 부모님, 천주인, 참부모님, 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Most loving Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven and earth and mankind. Good morning. We are so grateful to join this morning devotion with Dr. Yong. Not only throughout continental America, every corner of the world, the people joining. All our children are so thirsty and hungry, looking for spiritual knowledge food. Thank you, True Mother, sending Dr. Yong to this America to raise us up. Timely, perfect time. You send Dr. Yong, wise man from Orient. He's truly embodiment of God's truth. That's speaking through true Father's word, true Mother's word, and Lee Johan this world. How much at Most Johnson he poured all his heart, sacrificed his sleep, his time for the family. And he faced reading, searching, desperate heart to find perfect, right, nourishing food to feed all the hungry children. We are so grateful. We are so blessed in America. America is really started shaking. America is really evolution now. It's a big tide is coming because true mother taking the strong leadership. True Father in heaven, true Mother on the earth, 100% unite. And moving forward, this God dispensation, time is running out. So we have to understand truly deeply. And through Dr. Yong's teaching, we learn heart of God, heart of Jesus, heart of true parent who liberate God, true parent did. Who can liberate the true parent? We have to do. It's our portion of responsibility. We must understand, stand strongly. Peace start with me. Peace start within the family. Peace start between the husband and wife and parent and children, between the sibling. Heavenly Parent, we must cleanse our act, and we have to become totally sober. Cleanness is the holiness. We must become holy. We must really prepare to participate for the inauguration, the Jerusalem of Korea, Holy Land. All the people from all the different backgrounds coming to visit to Korea, the May 5th, with sincere Johnson and a gift for true parent. How long he has been working so hard, tirelessly. True mother is only begotten daughter. Since birth, she knew God is her parent. God is her daddy. She knew clearly God is parent. We understand true mother is so special. Behind the true father, she has no word to say. She was a shadow, totally 100% object to support the true father for more than 50 years, but she lost true father at the age of 70. How sorrowful, how beautiful, how pitiful it is. So difficult to function each daily life without husband, without loved one. I feel true mother's sorrow, agony, frustration, because she's getting older. She's not getting younger. We must really help, chip in to really make a 100% biological alignment with the true mother. Whatever she says, 무조건 unconditional love. We must go. We must participate. This is no more era of indemnity. It's era of the attendance and the era of forgiveness and the true love. Thank you, Heavenly Parent. Through this morning devotion, we can really come to realize, and we can really feel the enter the new era of the black rabbit, hopping around and jumping, and every day is so exciting to see true mother. But we must cleanse ourselves. If we hurt somebody, let's apologize. Let's have a humble heart. If you want to change your husband, you must go below. You can't change anybody. You must change yourself first. Heavenly Parent, we are doing serious business. We have no time. Time is running out. Let us feel Dr. Yong's urgent calling and prayer and the teaching. So we have to really totally offer ourselves, open up our heart, mind, soul, everything for you. Then you can speak through us. You can guide us to meet John the Baptist, who is prepared today to meet me. We want to touch your heart. We want to touch as many other people's heart through serving and sacrifice for others. Thank you so much. We are so grateful for this blessing. You gave us a wonderful blessing. We have a common parent. No more fight. No more picking each other. Heavenly Parents, we have to embrace everything. Intergeneration, first gen, second gen, third gen, fourth gen. And we must love with pure, true love. Then we can find answers and we can escape the problems. We have to let's face it. Heavenly Parents, thank you so much for this wonderful morning, beautiful day. Let's participate with a humble heart and sincere desire to receive Dr. Yong this morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity to offer sincere prayer for you. I pray this in the name of Joanna Keiko Force and eternally bless your family. Amen. Adieu.
Wow. Oh my goodness, what a such a heartistic and tearful prayer. Thank you so much, Keiko Force. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Keiko-san, for opening us up with such a beautiful prayer. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to go into our breakouts now. So just take a moment. You can breathe in and then just think about what you're grateful for this morning. Share with whoever you're paired up with or reflect on it. And we'll be back here to share with everyone else in 7 minutes. See you all soon. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful sharing in your breakout. Had a great time with Ellie, Nicole Liking, and Akiko Morris. So first, I'd like to call on Ellie and Nicole to share with us their gratitude points this morning.
Yeah, I share. I'm grateful always to be alive. And I'm grateful for morning devotion that is transforming our life. I can feel that I'm different person today compared to before morning devotion. You know, it's like it's about 3 months that I got a job, and I make sure every morning I pray for the company and I pray for all the employees, the owner, the HR, and the CEO, all those, I know the names. I pray for the protection of the company. And I also pray that they can really serve the consumers with their heart so that really they can feel healing, because this is people who are working for mental people who have mental problems. And I make sure that every morning, you know, I make coffee for everybody, and I make sure that they have water in the refrigerator and the sodas, everything. So I feel a complete different environment, and I was really surprised that the HR told me yesterday that the CEO and the owner of the company just decided to raise my salary after 3 months.
Wow.
I will not believe that. So I'm very grateful for morning devotion, and thank you for your investment, Dr. Yong.
Beautiful, Ellie. And then our beautiful lady, Nicole.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, Dr. Young, I'm so grateful for God and to parents. Wow, I was so grateful for that sister prayer. So profound. Really, true mother is really unite with our two father in the spiritual world. I was saying last year was not an easy year for us, even though I've been reading the book, but I was not really focused. But this year I said that I want to be more close to God. I want to hear God's voice. I want to really to be connected to Him. So when I was reading, I can feel, I can understand very well. And then the word is going to my mind, really. And like every day I can have the dream. So I'm so grateful for Dr. Young for your hard working, your longing heart that you have. So as was and to everyone. Really, I'm feeling like I'm a different person. When I'm reading the book like 3 hours, I can finish one day. I say, oh my God, this is God working towards me, so I can feel God's presence all the time that I'm reading. I'm more focused because what I ask God, I want to be close to you this year.
Thank you. Great. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole and Ellie, Liking couple.
Thank you.
Your couple is so beautiful, so much harmonious, and also thank you so much, Ellie. Sometimes you are translating and from English to French language. Thank you so much, everybody. 감사합니다. God bless you.
Thank you, Ellie and Nicole. And for the interest of time, we're just going to keep it at that. So let us prepare our hearts and mind to receive our heavenly inspiration today through our beloved Continental Director, Dr. Chonchik Yong.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters and clergy and members of office. 안녕하십니까? Today, I'd like to talk about the True Family and I again from True Mother's Anthology, Volume 2. Let's study.
The True Family and I. As infinite as the ambition of our conscience is, we have to know that God can create everything that we desire. God created us with the value of true love, object partners. The restoration of this value, lost at the fall, is the purpose of human life and history. God established religions, and the founder of each of them promised that someday he would return. Christianity teaches us that Jesus will return. In Buddhism, they speak of the return of Buddha. Confucianism alludes to a new Confucius. Likewise, in Islam, we find the return of the Mahdi, the divinely guided one. Let us consider the reason that God established the different religions. We have to understand that the will of God is accomplished centered on God's beloved children, children who are like God's flesh and blood. With those beloved sons and daughters, God wants to form families, tribes, races, and nations. This tells us what kind of person the Messiah is. At the time of the second coming, the Lord is the person who perfects the ideal for which all religions have longed. He will come to the earth with the original and eternal love of God. The Messiah will become a true parent, and centered on that lost, true love, will work to establish a completed family on earth on the foundation of true life and true lineage. That is the purpose of the providence of salvation. Due to the fall, God lost the true mother as well as the children of Adam's family. This means that God could not have true children. There was no family connected to the heavenly lineage, the source of God's love. Due to the fall of the parents, we became connected to false life, false love, and false lineage, which have caused our minds and bodies to be in conflict with each other. Adam and Eve became enemies, which caused their two sons to fight with each other.
Thank you. If we look at any part of this world which began due to the fall of man, there is no hope. Over a long history and until now, mankind has been seeking human happiness by using all kinds of means. However, there has been no solution and the world is becoming increasingly chaotic. Both communism and democracy, which appear in the end and are also revealing their limits. Therefore, it follows that the solution must come from heaven, not from humans. Then, when they come from heaven, who will bring with them the authority, will, wishes, and ideals of heaven? Each religious denomination has been waiting for such a person until now. The Messiah is the one that all religions and mankind have been waiting for. Then who is the Messiah? You need to know that the second coming of the Messiah is the one who, rooted in God's true love, will come to earth and fulfill the ideal that all religions hope for. Thus, the goal of God's providence of salvation is for the Messiah to become a true parent and find true life and true lineage as an ideal family on earth, centering on lost true love. The Messiah is the one who comes to this earth in the name of true parents to save mankind. Unificationists are the most blessed people in the history of God's providence of restoration. This is because unificationists came to know God and met true parents and came to possess the word of the principle and eternal truth and receive the blessing of eternal salvation. Blessing multiply into greater blessing when you multiply them. One of the great attributes of the blessing is each attribute of certainly multiplying. So, as stated in the family pledge, we have a great mission to make this earth into the kingdom of heaven by conveying heaven's blessing to our community. And then whenever we convey our blessing to our community, our tribe, our nation, there is the way to establish God's kingdom of heaven on earth. That's why our main mission is multiplying blessing. A blessing means not just only marriage ceremony. changing our blood lineage and life and then our love. This is how much important, That's why as the blessed couple, you do not do your role as the blessed couple in order to multiply the blessing. If you do not do that, then, our blessing becomes spoiled, becomes stagnant. Then that is the problem. So, the more we multiply, and then that is the way we really can maintain and we can gain happiness as well. And living divine principle, human fall, activities of Satan in the human world. Let's study.
Satan's activities in human society. Satan cannot perpetrate his evil activity unless he first finds an object partner with whom he can form a common base and engage in give and take action. Satan's object partners are evil spirits in the spirit world. The object partners to these evil spirits are the spirit selves of evil people on earth, and the vehicles through which these evil spirit selves act are their physical selves. Accordingly, the power of Satan is conveyed through evil spirits and is manifested in the activities of earthly people. For example, Satan entered Judas Iscariot, and Jesus once called Peter Satan. In the Bible, the spirits of evil men on earth are called angels of the devil. The kingdom of heaven on earth is a restored world in which Satan can no longer instigate any activity. To realize this world, it is necessary for all humanity to eliminate their common base with Satan, restore their common base with God, and engage in give and take action with him. However, God granted human beings and angels freedom. Therefore, he cannot restore them by force. Human beings must uphold the word of God on their own free will and by fulfilling their responsibility, which would then bring Satan to voluntary submission. We can only be restored to the original ideal purposed by God at the creation through this process.
So based on this content, let's study Father's word.
In order for us to be victorious in the battle with Satan, let us be a victor for God. Since Satan knows that this last battle will begin, he will attack with his utmost force. Therefore, in order for us to be victorious in the battle, not only God will do his best, but also you who are sons and daughters of God shall pour all of your spirit and heart. In this battle, Satan will not blindly surrender to you, but along with the people who are controlled under his domain, he will resist you with his maximum power. You should know this. As we shed tears for heaven, Satan also sheds tears for the fulfillment of his will. As we sweat for God, he also sweats for himself. As we fight at the risk of our life, he also fights the same way we do for himself. You should know this.
Yes. Now, in the age of the last days, know that Satan is also doing his best in this final battle. Look at North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Is he not an instrument of Satan, doing his best to maintain his power? Even God is pouring all of his spirit and heart more than anyone else in the final battle. Therefore, in order for us to be victorious, we must do everything with all our might, and just as God does with all his spirit and heart. Even Satan does not blindly surrender to us until the last moment. Or rather, we should know that he will do his best to resist us along with the people who are controlled under his domain. As we shed tears for heaven, Satan also shed tears for the fulfillment of his will. As we sweat for God, he also sweat for himself. As we fight at the risk of our life, he also fight the same way we do for himself. You should know this, brothers and sisters. Have you ever heard that Satan shed blood and sweat and tears for Satan's will? Look at the evil regimes waging war in this land these days. Aren't they shedding their own blood and sweat and tears as Satan's tools? Satan makes a last resort. Satan's strategy to go as far as he can. Satan never voluntarily surrenders so easily. Therefore, the restoration of the kingdom of God cannot be attained automatically without paying the price of blood and sweat and tears more than Satan. You look at the Russia, you look at the China, you look at the North Korea. They will not just blindly surrender. They will go until the edge of the cliff. Not simply surrender. Because this is the final games. To restore between North Korea and South Korea, as long as, Archangel nation, inside Archangel nation, Russia, and then also, Archangel, the evil nation, China, if they really, intervene North Korea, we cannot make unity between North Korea and South Korea. That's why really God have a strategy. Let them really, let them, even though they are doing, their best to keep their own power, but we can see losing power more and more day by day. Like a century of North Korea and South Korea now surrounding, Cain side Ram and then Abel side Ram. Cain side Ram is centering on China and Russia, and Abel side Ram centering on Japan and America, right? So this is like a parallel, like really, this is between God and Satan, as you know that. That's why, God already preparing to restore the environment. They will go until the, until how the edge of the cliff, and then later on cannot do anything. No more power to handle any more North Korea. Then that is the right time, centering on True Mother. We really unite together, and then we need to create one nation, one sovereignty, one people. But now issue is here, even about Abel side. America is really supporting Korea. Now, how about Japan? I really True Mother is concerned about Japanese providence. Really, Japan government really, they changed the law in order to attack our church. I think very serious things are going on. I think maybe this month or until end of next month, they will announce something. I'm really concerned about that. Now it is the right time, centering on Abel's reign. Father nation Korea, Mother nation Japan, and Archangel nation America, they totally need to unite together. And then really, need to really oppose the Cain side realm. So I'm really now, America is doing great role to how, handling about the China and the Russia as well. So my brothers and sisters really need to pray about it, how Heavenly Father providence can go on very well. And next content.
In order for us to be victorious in the battle with Satan, when these two powers confront each other, in order for us to win the battle, we should not live for ourselves. We should live absolutely for the sake of the Father. Oblivious to our own will, we should offer everything we have. By doing so, we should only try to uplift the value of Father. This is the way we can win a victory in the battle against Satan. It is the way for us to be related to God as a parent and child are related to each other.
Yes, in this final confrontation between God and Satan, what must we do? To be victorious. That is to never live for ourselves. It means that we should live absolutely for the sake of the Father's will. We must know that when we completely give up our own will and give up our lives only for our Father's will, a parent and child relationship is established between us and God, and win a victory in the battle against Satan. And next one is today's youth ministry. We must become the original substance of the divine principle. Let's study.
We must become the original substance of the divine principle. We studied original substance of the divine principle, OSDP. Now is the time when we ourselves should become the original substances of the divine principle, not just study it. What is the original substance of the divine principle? Even those who have been educated on the OSDP do not know what it is. They think it's the same as the existing principle we've heard until today, and they don't know the specifics of the OSDP. The reason why we study the OSDP is to let us know once again that true parents are the original substances of the divine principle. If the relationship with true parents, who are the original substances of the principle, is ambiguous, then everything goes wrong. And through the OSDP, I have to confirm what kind of existence my being is. Even if we are educated on the OSDP, which is not related to ourselves, has no meaning. The conclusion of the original substance of the divine principle. True parents put a lot of emphasis on the OSDP, clearly knowing the OSDP is more important than what to eat, what to drink, and what to wear. The conclusion of the OSDP is that I should bear fruit as the original substance of the divine principle. The blessed couple should bear fruit as the original substance of the divine principle. What should we be like in the end? We must go through the process of restoration and become the original substance of the divine principle. If we had not fallen, we would not need to be educated on the OSDP. This is because if we had not fallen, we would have become the substance of the principle and the substance of the word. However, since we are the descendants of the fallen, we need the principle. If we have never fallen, we wouldn't be the substance of the truth and the substance of the principle.
Yes. Now is the time to go beyond the age of studying the original substance of the divine principle and become the original substance of the divine principle ourselves. The reason why we study the OSDP is to let us know once again that true parents are the original substance of the divine principle. It also means that we should resemble true parents who are the original substance of the divine principle, and we should also become the original substance of the divine principle. The reason why we become ambiguous is that our relationship with the true parents, the original substance of the divine principle, is ambiguous. That's why before Father, before he going to spiritual world, before Songhwa, he knows that our movement sometimes need to go through some kind of chaos and very difficult situation. That's why Father educate us about the OSDP. Not just only listening same divine principle. You need to know that. What's the identity of OSDP? Who is the OSDP? True Father, true Mother they are the OSDP. As long as you are this matter very clear, your life of faith is never shaking. Never. But you are not clear about the meaning of the OSDP, your life of faith surely can be changeable. That's why Father already prepared early and emphasizing Not just only studying and listening divine principle. You have to be not just only believing through parents, the substance of OSDP. You have to be OSDP as well. Wow, amazing, right? It also means that we should resemble true parents who are the original substance of divine principle, and we should also become the original substance of the principle. The reason why we become ambiguous, just now I am saying that our relationship with true parents, original substance of the divine principle is ambiguous. If this is not clear, our church have the many kind of the group, split, divide here and there, because not clear about OSDP. Who are the substance of the OSDP? Therefore, it means that through the OSDP, we should once again check what the relationship between true parents and I, the original substance of the divine principle is, and that we, as the original substance of divine principle, also bear fruit. Now we need to focus on how much we have changed after knowing the divine principle. If I don't change, everything will end as a useless talk. It is important to study what true parents said at the public events, but overall, we must read through the divine principle, which is the framework over and over and again, and dozens of times, and hundreds of times, so that we can become the original substance of divine principle. Doing 100 times or 30 times or whatever, that is not the main purpose. We came to realize that the reality of God. We need to know that who are true parents. And then we need to know that who is Satan. And we need to know that the identity of the myself, what the relationship between God and myself, what the relationship between true parents and me. This is we try to get the confirmation. Not just reading 100 times. What's the purpose of the 100 times reading? We really realize that who is God, who true parents are, who is Satan, what's the spiritual world, what's the identity of myself. We call that one is what? OSDP. We have to become substantial OSDP. Then we need to know the invisible OSDP is a heavenly God, and visible OSDP is our true parents. Next.
The original homeland of true love. If you look at young children, they are the original substance of the heart that is not stained anywhere. That is why we are happy to even see the little ones. We do not have to preach anything special to those little children. When you look at young children, you cannot take your eyes off their faces. We want to see them again and again. Why? Isn't that because young children are the substance of the truth? The baby's mother tries to protect, care for, and love her baby, who is the substance of the truth, even at the cost of her life. The mother thinks, even if I die, I will protect and save this child no matter what. Doesn't the original homeland of true love begin there? Where is the original homeland today? True Father said that a mother's love for her children and her children's filial piety toward their parents are the original homeland. You must not mistake the original homeland, which is indicated in the family pledge, as the hometown where you were born. Since it tells us to seek our original homeland, do not mistake it as the hometown where you were born. The meaning of the original homeland and rebirth. The content of the first verse of the family pledge is this: original homeland. It means to seek the original homeland through a life of living for the sake of others as the owner of Chanoguk. However, we do not have a sense of ownership of Chanoguk and just go back and forth as spectators. So we cannot stand in the position of Abel yet, but instead stand in the position of Cain. Cain pursues the physical body and tries to follow what the body wants. Cain has no sense of ownership. They just follow the environment. They do not go because the word motivates them, but they just say that they will go their own way. Cain has no sense of ownership, and the heart does not spring up voluntarily. What is rebirth? It is called rebirth when the heart springs up in one's heart. Only through the process of being born again, in which the heart is evoked, can we go to the original homeland.
Yes. Just as a baby longs for their mother and finds happiness and peace in her bosom, our original homeland is such a place. Where is the original homeland today? The Father said that the word where the heart of the mother and who treats her children purely and nurses her baby, and her children purely show filial piety to their parents is the original homeland. The content of the first verse of the family pledge is this original hometown. As the owner of the Cheonilgu, we want to seek the original homeland through a life of purely abandoning ourselves and live for the sake of others. However, we do not have the sense of the ownership Cheonilgu. We are talking about every morning pledge of the owner of the Cheonilgu, or the owner of the Cheonilgu. Really, we are owner of the Cheonilgu, or just only onlooker? What's the opposite word of the ownership? Onlooker, right? Just go back and forth as a spectators. So we cannot stand in the position of the Abel yet, but instead stand in the position of Cain. Cain pursues the physical body and try to follow what the body wants. Are we really living with Abel's consciousness as owners in the era of the Cheonilgu? Or are we still a spectator like a Cain? Cain has no sense of the ownership. Cain just follows the environment. They do not go because the what motivates them, but they just say that they will go their own way. Cain's heart does not arise voluntarily. The true owner of the Cheonilgu are those who move everything voluntarily and with the heart. If we want to go to our original homeland, we must first have the consciousness of the ownership. Second, you must be reborn with your heart welling up voluntarily. If the heart wells up voluntarily, you are bound to be reborn and resurrected. So I think today content also quite important about OSTP, right? This we really need to understand very clearly. And then I'm talking about here about the owner of the Cheonilgu, out of the owner of the Cheonilgu. We really fully taking ownership, no more about the Cain's figure. Today I talk about we must become the original substance of the divine principle, and also talking about the meaning of the original homeland and rebirth. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yong. I really appreciate that clarification. We talk about seeking the original homeland, but what is that homeland? And it's a place of filial piety towards our parents, but also of the parents towards the children. And so just thank you for clarifying that. And one thing you said earlier, you said Satan will not blindly surrender. So we have to pour our hearts and spirits just like God. So thank you for today's morning devotion, Dr. Yong. We're going to go on to our living testimony. And today we're going to Subregion 2 from District 4, another winter workshop called, I believe, Our Fight, My Promise. So speaking on that, we have the Subregion 2 EAM coordinator, Rusei Taguchi.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Like Westford said, my name is Rusei. I'm the Subregion coordinator for Subregion 2, and I'm the youth pastor for the DMV area, the Capital Family Church. I show my face from time to time, so hopefully you recognize it. But if you don't, it's okay. I have a little slide to show you what's going on in our community recently. And like Westford said, we had this really great winter workshop called Our Fight, My Promise. And the workshop was just as powerful as the title is. It's a deep dive into our movement's history, our movement's purpose, And it's a time to determine and to take ownership over the mission left by true parents unto second generation, third generation, first generation. I'd first like to thank all of our participants. We had 29 kids in total. They're all high school aged. Some from the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, some from New Jersey, and even one sister from Zambia recently, one second generation from Zambia recently joined our community. So I'm grateful that she could participate in this workshop as well. We had one first generation. We had 23 second generation, and we had 5 third generation. We have a very diverse group spiritually and location-wise, and so I'm very grateful that each participant here took the time. It was 6 days in total. It was through their holiday, through their winter break. They took the time to come to this place to grow themselves, grow deeper relationships with brothers and sisters, and to discover something about their identity. And I'm really grateful that they put the effort that they did into the workshop. I think it went really well. I'd also like to thank our staff. We had 20 staff, and we had some young adults come in. All of us are second generation. Yeah, this is just a picture of the staff team. There were 15 team leaders and 5 auxiliary staff, 3 core staff. All of these people are in their 20s. They're at different places in their lives, but everybody here grew up together, which is really nice. I think, yeah, all of us participated in this workshop as a group. And we're at different places in our lives, but we all could come back for this moment to support younger brothers and sisters. There are moments in the staff meeting we had where I would smile to myself because I think of the middle school workshops that we attended together, and the high school workshops we attended together, and the high school youth groups that we attended together. And I think that these are my brothers and sisters that I grew up with, and now we are called to the mission and to the love of God to serve our community, and I was so grateful. This is our core staff. So I was among the core staff, and we have our former youth pastor, Melissa Manor, who recently moved to Brazil to be with her husband, and she also serves our church community there. We have Henry Rasanen, who is an older brother in our community, much older than the current staff are, and he's always been part of youth ministry. So I'm grateful for their continued support and also their guidance as I take on this new role as youth pastor. Also, one more thank you is to Kayleigh and Dr. Shiel, who gave lectures during our winter workshop. Kayleigh, as you know, works for UPF, and she was also our former youth pastor. And she was, I think, one of the first ones in our community, and she really laid the foundation for this workshop to succeed and this workshop to be even alive. And I think it might be a little much to say, but I think she started youth ministries in all of America. And I'm really grateful for her to come speak. And she talked a lot about our current providence. And so she could level very realistically and substantially where our movement is in this world and how we're contributing, how we're actively trying to improve and follow the mission that we preach about, our ideal. Dr. Shiel is our Subregion 2 leader. He gave a testimony about his experience in the early movement. So his course is very different from ours, but I hope that the kids could inherit a lot from the heart it takes to be first generation. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So here are just a few snapshots of our winter workshop. Like I said, we had 6 days. Every day had a different theme, centering on one word of the workshop title. So the first day is just our. So what is our place as a movement? What is our place as second generation or as blessed children or as first generation or early young unificationists? In some ways, what is our identity as pioneers of a movement, as pioneers of a new generation of people? And sometimes or many times I've heard that our winter workshop, in specific of the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, is that we are the crying workshop, because every day we cry. If you're a team leader, if you're a kid, you cry. I'm really grateful for each team leader because they put in 7 weeks of conditions before leading up into the workshop. And so a whole lot of cheongsang and a whole lot of devotion and tears were wept even before we entered the workshop site. And so I think this really opened the spirit world and opened the opportunity for the kids to have such a deep and artistic and profound experience where this is the final day. Many many young BCs know this activity touched someone who, but oh my God, like for me at least, I was ugly crying, like, like that kind of noise, you know, like you can't hold it back. And I was at this point where I just wanted to love so deeply the kids in my community, the brothers and sisters that I grew up with. And so the kids shared this moment with each other. And I believe it's long overdue because of COVID. We're so far from each other. And we had such a deep longing for connection that it moved us to tears. This is a small picture of an activity that I received through a prayer, that I thought of through a prayer. I was praying about this history. I'll explain this picture in a second. But I was praying to God in preparation for this workshop. I told God, I want to be significant in history, no matter which timeline. And this idea or this visualization of a timeline came to me. So I started frantically writing on my phone this activity. So if you see maybe on the floor, the picture's not so great. Maybe I wish I could have found a better picture. But it goes actually all the way upstairs. There's a huge timeline that goes through all of history. So we have Christianity's the providential history flowing all the way into True Parents' life timeline, into this final like center point. If you see the center point, that says the winter workshop. And then there's pieces of tape. There's more lines going outside of this intersection. And that's representative of every kid had a piece of tape. So every kid's timeline intersects with this winter workshop. It intersects with True Parents course, and it intersects with the providence of history and the providence of restoration. And I wanted to put this visual so kids can understand the importance and the significance of that moment and that opportunity that we are providing for them. I'll just share one small story of something that happened during the workshop, and that'll almost conclude my short testimony. I was walking outside because I don't get to interact with the kids so much, even though I'm the youth pastor. The winter workshop's my time to be behind the scenes. And I think I have a reputation now in my community. I've always been a ringleader of the circus of brothers. You know, there's always got to be one person that's the ringleader of the brothers. And even now, there's a group of brothers that are always acting up. No, every community has those brothers. And sometimes, and many times actually, you think maybe they're not connecting too deeply with what's going on because they're just there to have fun. I ran into one of these very special brothers, very close to my heart, when I was walking outside. We had just been doing an activity where we were writing letters to God, and where we would share the letters with others and write a letter back to each participant in the perspective of God. So I walk up to this brother, and I think he's escaping the usual activity session because he likes to run out and be free. And I go up, and first thing I say is like, "Oh, brother, you trying to run away again?" As a joke, you know? His brother turns his face to me, and I see tears streaming down his face. And I grew a little concerned, and I said, "Oh, why are you crying? Is everything okay?" And this brother says to me, "I don't know. I just asked God if he's really out there. And then I saw a light flash in the distance. I don't know. And he's just crying. I was so moved because I feel how much investment and how hard God is working. So like kids can have a moment, just a small moment, where they can meet God. I was so grateful, yet in a way I was repentful because I wanted to push this kid. I wanted to take this chance and just yell at this kid like, look at what God is doing for you. Look at, like, if you remember the timeline, like this moment, it's here for you to experience God. And now the ball is in your court. You make that choice. What does that moment mean to you? I'm very grateful for Heavenly Parents' presence in our workshop. And I'm very grateful for the foundation and teachings that true parents share with us throughout, especially throughout my entire life, and for the foundation for this workshop. This is a quote from True Mother. Now we have to call out the second generation out in the world. Second generation children blessed by heaven must stand well in front of heaven. We have to let them take responsibility for that. Our goal is to allow our culture to naturally sweep away not only our children's children, but also the children of the world. I feel very called to the mission that True Mother has said many times, very simply, let us witness second generation.
Yeah, beautiful.
I've done the outreach in Albania and Romania to guests, done all that. But my heart, when True Mother said, called out, witness the second generation, I thought it was a private conversation between me and Mother, and she asked me to do that. So all of these workshops, all of these activities every week, I'm grateful to True Mother for calling me to do so.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. You say, Takuchi, well, your report is so beautiful and very much promising. I am so much moved by your report and activities and then many second generation experience of the rebirthing. It is really, really beautiful, very much promising. I think you say, Takuchi, you are doing very well. 22 years ago, I was in Maryland and then working together. You say the father and mother very, very closely. Hey, you say, who named your name?
Dr. Yong gave me my name.
22 years ago. Yeah, time flies so fast. And then this hour you say grown up this much. Oh my goodness. I never know that this guy has become that much powerful. You can see, our you say in the future can be a great leader. I think witness many, many second generation, third generation who did not have a connection to our church. Wow, just one guy, alive and then reached a certain level. Many second generation, third generation surely will come back. I think America need to show that kind of model. You see our MC Respread, how much powerful this guy. And many, Yase and Shogo and all the leadership, they are doing very well. And then from the morning devotion, we are really supporting our second generation youth group. They are our future, really promising our future. Once again, you say, I love you. And the way you talk, wow, you know how to move people. The way to talk. And then the way, I do not know how to express it. You are such a really promising. I'm so glad. You say, once again, thank you very much. Please connect many second generation, third generation, those who do not connect to our church. I think you can do that. Thank you once again, Yusei. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Yusei. Dr. Young said it all, but that was just an incredible testimony. Just thank you for sharing. So thank you for directing the workshop together with your team. And I totally connect to just everything that you said, and especially Mother's Word at the end. So just thank you for sharing that with us. We're going to go on to our reflection share. So just take a moment to think about what you gained from today's morning devotion and living testimony. Share whatever came up for you with whoever you're paired up with, or by yourself if you're not going to a breakout. And we'll be back here to share with everyone else in 7 minutes. See you all soon. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful sharing and an incredible time with Miyako Lam and Kenji Wokawa. First, I'd like to call on Miyako Lam to share with us her reflection point from today's morning devotion.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just simple thing is that, but I'm old age, but I have not. I don't have any much experience about inside the unification movement, especially early. So honestly, I didn't know OSDP means. Maybe Dr. Yong is surprised, but OSDP. No, emphasize, True Father emphasize before he passed away. OSDP. Wow, OSDP, the original substantial of the DP. Oh, of course, true parents, they are substantial DP. That's just naturally I believe, or I thought about it. So that actually has a name, OSDP. So second James, Mr. Arthur. I have a hard to pronounce his this MC's name, but I just mentioned that I am old, but I'm not. I don't know much about it. I just mostly I learned many things through the Dr. Yong class, which means 2 years. So many things I learned. So many testimony that all the unificationists. So I learned from them. So I'm kind of new word to learn today. So that's what I shared.
Miyako-san, you are not
Yes.
getting old. You are young girl. What are you talking about? You are young lady. How come?
I tried.
No?
Last sickness makes me so. I feel like an age.
No worry. Okay, thank you so much, Miyako, for your honest and beautiful sharing. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Miyako-san. Thank you. Next, I'd like to call on Kenji Okawa from Queens to share with us his reflection as well.
I think I'm same as everyone. I was in tears listening the Liu's testimony.
Yeah, me too.
And then I did like at the end, Dr. Young, like revealed he's the one, give, name his name. Oh my gosh, planting the seeds, working together, growing, invested, together with the parents, and oh my gosh, this seed grow in life, and I was so much moved, like almost like as if I am in the same workshop. The part which is kind of like, it's like strike me again is that, the father, I remember father talk about, Satan never rest. And even tears, so much like Satan invested, almost like much more than us could be. So, in order to really defeat the Satan, also how much effort we should make. If Satan making that much effort in order to win the victory, I have to invest even much more than that. Wow, that's really, how much, we sometimes I feel now I make this much effort, that should be good enough, after today, no. And then I kind of like, what shall I, after listening the message, what shall I, I have a way so much, way so much distance to make up. Anyway, at least I realized and I need to make more determination. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kenji-san, for your beautiful report. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenji-san. He was saying today's morning devotion was like a movie. The ending, Dr. Young named Ryusei after it all. So, Well, thank you all. we're going to go on to our announcements. If you are inspired, you can always invite people to join in on this morning devotion experience. The website is edu.familyfed.org. That's where everything is. All the 2, 3, almost like 2 and however many years of morning devotion is all archived there, together with transcripts and the PowerPoints, as well as your link to join this live Zoom. Also, if you're especially inspired, you can donate by clicking the link in the chat. It supports the production of morning devotion around the world, as well as all the translations that are happening. And so please feel free to donate through that or go to the description of the video. And finally, if you'd like to offer a song or the opening prayer, you can always email us at TOR, that's TZORER @unification.org, to send a message. Hey, I have a song I want to sing. When can I sing? And then you'll be put somewhere in a spreadsheet. You'll be on one of these days. And with that, we're going to go on to our musical offering. You know him. Needs no introduction. He's the man from Kenya. Let's welcome up John Kirkley.
Hello.
Oh, hello. John Kirkley. 안녕하십니다. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I usually have songs running through my head, but not this time. But I thumbed through. I've got a huge folder of songs that I've already sung. I try not to do repetitions for a year and a half, but I'm harking back to an earlier age. Many people call the World War II generation the greatest generation. So if you recall, there were 40 years from when Eisenhower was elected in 1952 until the first George Bush was defeated in 1992. That's exactly 40 years, a biblical generation. And it was time for a generational change in God's mind. So the young upstart Bill Clinton beat the old man George Bush, who was the youngest bomber pilot in World War II. Now, this was a more innocent age when there was no gender confusion. There were boys and girls, there were men and women, there were guys and gals, and there's lots of beautiful musicals. This one is from San Francisco, and this is the song that the brothers sing in the World Mission Center when they're waiting for the matching. We got sunlight on the sand, we got moonlight on the sea, we got mangoes and bananas you can pick right off a tree. We got volleyball and ping pong and a lot of dandy games. What ain't we got? We ain't got dames. We get packages from home, we get movies we get shown, we get speeches from our skipper and advice from Tokyo Rose. We get letters doused with perfume, we get dizzy from the smell. What don't we get? You know damn well we have nothing but a clean white suit for. What we need is what there ain't no substitute for. There's nothing like a dame, nothing in the world. There's nothing you can name that is anything like a dame. We feel restless, we feel blue, we feel lonely and in grief. We feel every kind of feeling but the feeling of relief. We feel hungry as the wolf felt when he met Red Riding Hood. What do we feel? We don't feel good. Lots of things in life are beautiful, but brother, there is one particular thing that is not like any other. Nothing else is built the same. Nothing in the world has a soft and wavy frame or a silhouette of a dame. So suppose that dame and bride are completely free from flaws, or as faithful as a bird dog, or as kind as Santa Claus. It's a waste of time to worry over things that they have not. We're thankful for the things they got. There is nothing you can name that is anything like a dame. There are no books like a dame, and nothing looks like a dame. There are no drinks like a dame, and nothing thinks like a dame. There ain't a thing that's wrong with any man here that can't be cured by putting him near a girly, womanly, female, feminine.
Wow, thank you, John Cockley. Yeah, you are a man of inspiration. Thank you for your singing, Hundoke. Thank you.
Thank you, John. You were your whole orchestra right there. Everything in between. Thank you for just offering a song and always being willing to do so. And now to close out in prayer, can I call on Manuel Liba? Manuel, could you close out in prayer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Let us pray. Loving Heavenly Parent, precious two parents, we're really so moved today again, being able to study the principle, your word, in more depth. And we feel deep within us really how that represents the love our two parents have for us, giving us what we need so that we can grow up, letting us understand the path so that we can reach coming back to your bosom. Heavenly Parent, not being able to recover our original self became such a problem in his history. Not being able to understand really what you went through because we couldn't feel our responsibility. Heavenly Parent, we feel this age has arrived, even beyond this confusion, chaos that's out there. The age where we can really return to you and where we can really feel towards one another that we're really one family, like we are brothers and sisters under you. Heavenly Parent, we're very grateful. We pray that we can really, the things we realize and learn, we can really make those things become substance in our life, and that we can really become able to become a match to that what you had in mind for us. Thank you so much. We can share together as brothers and sisters. We're very grateful. And I report this in the name of Manuel Liba, Blessed Central Family. Aju.
Aju, thank you so much. Manuel Liba, you are a man of ocean, right? I really still remember we fishing together, right? At the Hudson River. Really unforgettable memory with you. I think end of the next year, end of this year, we need to catch more fishes. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Liba. I really love you for your beautiful dedication, and you also attending the morning devotion. And please raise up many our young generation through Ocean Providence. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Liba. 감사합니다.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Manuel. Just thank you for all that you do, and for, of course, close out in prayer. And with that, brothers and sisters, about concludes today's morning devotion. Tomorrow, you're going to have Joshua Holmes as your MC, so please welcome him. But with that, thank you all for joining us. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
감사합니다. Thank you.